Welcome to Recharge with Richardson, 5 minutes of hope and inspiration every Monday and Thursday. And now, here is today's episode. Well, I'm really excited to be back with you this morning. I really want to apologize for missing the last couple of episodes with you. I really had some major demands that I had to devote my time to. I just couldn't surround everything, just to be fully transparent with you. But got that behind me now, and so I'm excited to be back with you. And I want to dive right in and continue the series that I'd begun in our last episode together. And it was dealing with one of the most important aspects of mental discipline, and that is a positive attitude. And I've entitled today's episode, The Power of Positive Attitude, Part 2. Last time, we talked about the principle, this is point number one, the principle of choosing to look for good and the importance of optimism, the importance of choosing to look for the good. And so why does that matter as we begin today? Well, I'd like to start off with Proverbs 12 and verse 25, which says, anxiety in the heart of a man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. And so the point that Solomon's making here and that I want to make is that the second issue, point number two that I want to address, is that depression is a major health risk. A negative outlook turns off the lights of hope in our lives. It changes love into hate and peace into stress. Depression really has a powerful impact on society. There are 200 million people who are depressed worldwide, and there are 19 million of them right here in the United States. And those 19 million cost us $70 billion in treatment, disability, and lost productivity to every year. Now, again, it's not their fault, and we're not blaming anybody. It's just the reality of the huge impact that depression has. One study found that healthcare costs for depressed patients were actually 50% more than they were for non-depressed patients. Studies also show that pessimism predicts who will get depressed, who will stay depressed, and who will relapse into depression after therapy. And so, again, depression is a major health risk, and I just want to encourage us, again, to pursue that positive attitude, because it's going to change that in such a large way. Going on to my second point for today, or point number three, is that Proverbs 18:14 says this: the spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness. And the spirit of a man is referring to attitude. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? In other words, our minds have a major influence on our bodies. If we choose to focus on the negative in life, we are going to have worries and fears, and worry, as you know, fear affects health. A 20-year study of nearly 1,800 people found that as worry rose, so did the risk of heart attack. Those who worried a lot had a 250% increase in heart attack risk over those who did not. I mean, that's significant. Dr. Martin Seligman has done extensive studies on the effect of optimism and pessimism. He says this: over and over their talent scores, or over and above their talent scores, we repeatedly find that pessimists drop below their potential and optimists exceed it. I have come to think that the notion of potential without the notion of optimism has very little meaning. And so, again, optimism is so important, and it really literally helps the healing process. The last point that I want to make today, point number four, is found in Proverbs 17:22, which says this, and this is a verse that you probably know very well. A merry heart does good like what? Medicine. You knew it. But a broken spirit dries the bones. Solomon is saying here that attitude affects the healing process. A merry heart, happiness, positivity does good just like medicine. To a large degree, your mind can literally heal your body because of its effect on your immune system and other healing processes. Laughter really is good for your health. Dr. Thomas Sydenham, considered by historians to be the British Hippocrates of his day, of the 1600s, said this: "The arrival of a good clown exercises a more beneficial influence upon the health of a town than the arrival of 20 donkeys laden with drugs." Yeah, a little bit of humor there, but what he said is so true. Now, obviously, he's referring to the available medicines of his day, and so you might think, well, that's a lot different today. But the most sophisticated modern research is proving that Dr. Sydenham was right even about today. The most skilled scientists are finding that a good, hearty laugh and all the positive emotions that go along with it may actually do more to prevent and heal disease than a medicine cabinet full of drugs. One group of, and here's a couple studies that demonstrate that. One group of heart attack patients watched humor videos for a year, and another group did not watch them. During that year, the group that didn't watch humor videos had 5 times the recurrence of heart attacks over the other group that was watching them. That's significant. Children, now this will blow your mind. Children laugh 400 times a day. Adults laugh only 15 times a day. Somewhere along the way, we lost 385 laughs a day, and it's damaging our health. And so here's my challenge to you as I wrap up this morning. What can you do to think more positively today and tomorrow and all for the rest of the days of this week, and resist negativity, because it will be transforming for you and your life? And remember, no matter what the circumstances that you may be facing and going through, I want to encourage you with this: God's got that, and God's got you. Thank you for joining us for Recharge with Richardson. Don't forget to join us for our next episode, and until then, may God fill you with joy and peace and hope.